New event. May the Spirit Queen bless you. Once upon a time, a hero became a demon lord. Then shouldn't the opposite be possible too? Can't a demon lord turn into a hero? At last, at long last, the day has finally come. Today is the final day of the limited time event, hosted here in Tempest by Lady Ramus, titled The Exclusive Trial of the Spirit Queen. And to our surprise, no one has passed the trial so far, hence no one has been granted the divine protection of the spirits. I believe that will all end today. Why, you ask? Because everyone tackling this trial today is as tough as they get. I wouldn't be surprised if the trial chose to cower and run away in fear of all our competitors. Welcome our challengers to the stage. The captain of the Crusaders, it's Saint Hinata, and with her, the paladin of water, Ritus. Let's go, Crusaders! And I can only imagine just how unreasonable this trial is going to be. Next up, we have our very own Demon Lord, Great Rimu. He's joined by the big foe represented Team Tempest. Kind of tension in the battle tournament. I wonder what kind of trial it's going to be. I'm sure there's not a trial in this world that we can't beat as a team. Yeah, right, let's brace ourselves. A team with monsters and the Holy Knights. Let's call them Team Holy Monsters. If they are afraid to take on the exclusive trial of the Spirit Queen. In the stands, Rimu always comes up with such fun events. I wish I was down there with them. I heard that you can't just brute force your way through this trial. You don't like things like that, do you? But it's probably child's play for Hinata. I bet she could beat all of this by herself. And nothing is impossible for my sworn friend Rimu. Didn't ask you for your opinion. Don't just butt into our conversation. You'd better not mess this up, okay? I don't really need to be reminded by Malim that failure is not an option. No matter how difficult the trial may be, I'm not going to embarrass myself in front of a huge audience. I was wondering why you suddenly called me out of the blue, so you want to do some combat training with me. When we fought, I realized that I was seriously lacking any real combat experience. I'm sure there will be moments in the future where the difference in experience will have a significant impact. I guess you could call it my duty as a demon lord. If you put in the effort to actually train, you'd become unreasonably strong. I didn't say that, but you are going to let us Holy Knights use the dungeon to train, so it's only fair that I help you train. Thanks for choosing to train with me. I don't have to hold back, right? Alright, I think that's enough for today, thanks. That was a really good training. I've learned a lot myself too. You sure are strong. It's like you never ever let your guard down. I always try to predict every kind of attack, but you know what? Your moves exceeded my predictions. That's what I was trying to do, but seriously, if you went all out, I'm not sure how things would have turned out. Like my holy ornament. The other holy knights use elemental armaments instead, right? It's more like the elemental armament is the mass-produced version. Original of the armaments are based on. It's said to have been one of the anti-monster weapons of the Western Church, once worn by the hero. And it probably wasn't Leon. Could it have been the hero who sealed Valdoa? Yeah, Chloe. You look like you have some idea of who the hero is. It's not like I ever confirmed it, though. So these elemental armaments borrow the power of spirits, and it's these powers that make the Crusaders the strongest. That you think so highly of us, but the Crusaders are nowhere near as strong as I'd like them to be. You are pretty strict. Of course, I'm willing to help, but considering that you'll need the power of spirits, I know who we should consult. Let's go to see the Queen of Spirits. Ramos, you there? I'm almost done reading manga. This death game thing shows fun. It's so thrilling, and it involves so much thinking. Death game? Is she referring to Alice in the Borderland? Or what is she referring to? So you have been reading the death game ones, huh? Bring me another one of these, please. Do you have time right now, Queen of Spirits? Guide the Saints? So what is it that you want from this great individual? There's something I'd like to consult with you. You see, the armaments that we use, allow me to show it off to you. It's been a while since I last saw it. It's so cool. Different from the ones the knights use. Basically, this is how the armaments work. So you have tuned it just so that it's easier for the spirits you're contracted with no materialize. It seems like that allows you to make better use of the spirit's powers. That's not for everyone, but giving strong powers to those strong enough to put them to good use sounds like a recipe for great powers. You can tell all that just from a glance. Would you have any resistance to being used as armaments? It's not like they are being forced to do it. I'm sure they're all more than happy to lend the powers. Even if the user's not a holy knight, as long as they are strong enough, they could go on a serious rampage. I know what you mean. That's why I can't imagine someone like Yi or Malim using something like that. She may find it interesting. What's Veldad? Just like I thought this might be pretty fun. Can I... This is so fun. Let's play some more, shall we? What's wrong? I just imagined the worst thing ever. What were you imagining that could possibly make you fall backwards like that? But can we get back on topic? You wanted to consult me regarding the elemental armaments. I would like you to give us Crusaders the opportunity to meet with some spirits. Would that be difficult? I could take you guys to the dwelling of spirits. That's easy, but whether the spirits will want to lend their powers or not, that could be the problem. The stronger the personality, so they can be a bit fickle. You'll have to prove to me that you're strong enough to be embarrassed, to not embarrass me in front of my lovely spirits. as a healed by me before being granted the divine protection. This is not negotiable. When we visited the dwelling of spirits with Chloe and the others that time, you mentioned that you had gifted the protection to him. I hate to admit it, but he is a good-looking dude, so I bet he'd look good in it. I'm willing to fully cooperate. That being said, I'm not going to go easy on you guys. I'm sure my subordinates will be happy to hear that. Don't treat it like some game. I'm being serious here. What's the trial going to involve? I've got just the idea. I'll create an exclusive trial from scratch and open it for a limited time only. Guess that's true. The one I took on with the students involved fighting an elemental colossus. Where will this trial be taking place? Let's see, I guess we'll use the dungeon as the venue. Dedicate a section of my dungeon for the trial. I'm glad that I'll help out too. That way we can set. A few days later, Weymouth's exclusive trial of the Spirit Queen was complete. Who just took on the trial have returned. How did it go? We fell short. I'm sorry, we all failed to pass the trial. Reynard was there too. That's pathetic. Isn't it odd? I can't imagine a group of elite holy knights taking on the trial. Not a single one of them passing. Queen of Spirits makes her sound dignified, but really she's only Weymouth. You won't beat this trial so easily. Maybe she thought it would be fun to build some ridiculously impossible trial. Ko and I to take this trial, then we'll see whether it's true or not. I'm terribly sorry, all of the Ko and I failed to pass this trial. What exactly did the trial of the Spirit Queen involve? I can't say. I've been sworn to keep my mouth shut. To disappoint you, don't sweat it. I know just how strong Ko and I are, so I'm not worried. Insurmountable that two elite units failed to pass. I have to know what's going on here. This is the trial, is my finest masterpiece. I just finished cleaning up after the colonized trial. No one was able to pass my trial. It's amazing that I was able to prevent every single challenger from beating this trial. Seriously difficult. I incorporated all the experiences I have gained from developing the dungeon. I also referenced one of your manga too. No more prying. The results of this, the results are the results. They won't able to beat the trial, so I can't recognize them as heroes. As captain of the knights, it's quite disappointing. I think we ought to avenge those who failed the trial. Do you guys want to take on the trial too? Sure, by all means, I'll accept any challenge. The trial to be taken as a team, so you're going to need more people. So I can get the big four. Sure, go ahead. I thought that would make you freak out or something. I guess you really are confident. Most of the Holy Knights here in Tempest have already taken it. Didn't you already take the trial? So I didn't think there was a need for me to enter it. We'll take this trial as a team. It was decided that we would be the next to take on the exclusive trial. News quickly spread through a tempest, and in the next to no time, it had turned into a fully fledged event. So far, the details of the trial have been kept a secret. The last ones to take on the trial, we have been permitted to share them with you, the public. The portal to the trial has appeared, and our brave challengers are stepping in. Just who will emerge victorious, or will the trial leave its mark in an unassailable fortress? So this is the venue for the trial, huh? Maybe she's trying to get you to let your guard down. Welcome to the exclusive trial. Let's get started, shall we? Trini, fill them in on the details. I would like everyone here to work together as one to overcome a total of 4 trials. Depending on the trial, we may see certain individuals drop out. With that in mind, the last person saying it will be blessed by Lady Ramos. Then what's the whole point of forming a team? She's trying to make it sound all plausible, but I get the feeling that she's trying to make us compete against each other. The very special feature of the elusive trial is the concept of the traitor. First trial titled the Trial of Selection. One of you will be chosen by Lady Ramos to act as the traitor. Participant selected as the traitor doesn't share the same goal as overcoming the trial. Forcing your allies to drop out. That sure sounds like a wicked and troublesome individual. Whether you weren't so hostile just yet, we don't even know who's going to be chosen. We are being forced to take on the trial as a team, and yet the rules make it hard for us to function efficiently. I'll take that as a compliment, just so you know. You aren't allowed to use stock communication to talk to each other, okay? We know we'll tackle your child with the same conditions as others. What she wants to see is one's ability to determine the true enemy. A hero must be able to recognize who the enemies are. That is for all the rules of the trial. Next, we will begin the trial of selection. We have prepared a door for every challenger here. Please choose a separate door. Please note that any challenger who fails to detect the enemy will be deemed ineligible for the trial. But no one's going to drop out just yet. After defeating the enemy, a special bracelet and a stone monument will appear. And it goes without saying, but please refrain from revealing the contents of your monument to other challengers. Right then, let's get going. I'll see you at the exit. Can't wait to see them have a falling out. Enters the door to see. She's trial bracelet. She must have done some intensive mods to it. I imagine most Core 9 wouldn't be able to defeat it. That said, it's not impossible to defeat. Take that. That's been taken care of. Did I get a bit carried away? There should be a stone monument appearing. There it is. Let's see, it's a reiteration for the rules, and you must not mention what happens here at the trial selection before reread the rules. Now I just need to take the bracelet that's attached to the monument. Why everyone's already here. You're the last one. I didn't think you'd take so long against such a weak enemy. Was it that easy? But Ramius had me up against the... honestly, it wasn't such an easy foe to take down. Maybe the others didn't encounter an elemental colossus. But still. There's a trader monster, so I'd better move with caution. Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? What do you mean? It's just odd that he went all quiet when he was asked why he was so late. I felt the same way as Gobta. I'd like to know how someone as strong as you would find an enemy difficult. We'd be breaking the rules if I told him I was just toying around with it. Being all quiet is alright to assume that you know that's what that means. What do you mean that's what that means? Are you saying that? You think Great Ramu is the traitor? Great Ramu would never be a traitor. In fact, I'm suspicious of you for merely casting doubt on him. Chill out, guys. If we start suspecting each other without any evidence, it's just going to disrupt our teamwork. There are going to be trials that will require teamwork in order to overcome. We have only just begun. First of all, I'd like to offer my congratulations for you all to overcoming the trial of selection. Now it's just the intro, and the real trial hasn't even begun yet. Go on, keep doubting each other like you have never done before. Team's challenges, Hardy seems to be suspicious of each other, things are starting to look a little uncertain. Lady Ramos seems to be enjoying planting the seeds of doubts, but there's something really cute about it. Why, the laugh, the way she laughs is so annoying. I knew it was you, so unnecessary. Is that what it looks like to you? See what I mean? Now allow me to explain the rules. You will work together as a team to fight a horde of magical beasts until the target number of beasts has been defeated. Will be disqualified from the trial. So whoever ends up in last place loses. If that's just defeated magical beast, then it should be easy enough. We have increased the level of magical beasts to match everyone's abilities. If you fail to meet the target number of magical beasts, then everyone shall be disqualified. The trader is exempt from disqualification due to having the fewest number of kills. Blatantly not cooperating with the team will look suspicious, so please be careful. Not everyone read the stone monument and still has the bracelet that appeared after the last trial. This sin, I wonder what its significance is. If for whatever reason the bracelet breaks, you will be disqualified from the trial. It's going to secretly try to destroy our bracelets, huh? Then they are disqualified. Remember, we don't know what kind of trials are awaiting us, so it would be unwise to reduce the number of members at such an early stage. What a coincidence, I was thinking the same thing. By the way, if you destroy the bracelet of an ally, both you and the ally will be disqualified. That's a shame. We'll be taking every proper measure to ensure there are no loopholes. As much as I love to try to expose the trail, we can't let our guard down against these beasts. Been adjusted to Lady Hinata and Great Ramu's level. I'm actually doomed to end up in that. Yeah. Ha. The child's strength is off to a great start. Our challenges are slaying beasts at an incredible speed. This is frustrating to watch. Why don't they just kill them all with a big blast? They are probably worrying about the traitor. They will to attack using a big move that would leave an opening for the traitor to make their move. Even letting your guard down for a second could end up being fatal when you're surrounded by such fierce competition. If they don't hit the target number of magical beasts, they are all going to be disqualified. That's probably exactly what Ramos wants them to think. She sure does come up with some interesting ideas. But no one's made any form of suspicious movement yet. You're in the way. What are you doing? Are you going to beat this child just by staying around like that? I need to watch out for the traitor. Rather than worrying about that little things, you should just focus on overcoming the child that's in front of you. If you get disqualified for being too scared of taking hit risks, then what's the whole point of this child? She doubted me. I would never scheme something like that. Then prove it to me with your actions. If this were a real battlefield, I'd ask Sue to try to sniff out the traitor. Excuse me. They haven't declared the end of the trial yet, so I guess we just keep on going. But if the goings get tough, then I'm sure everyone here, including me, is ready to sweep them all out with one big move. I was just thinking that it might be you, Gobta. It's not me. I wish I could believe those words at face value. I'd say you were the third or fourth person I wouldn't want to be the traitor. Who do you not want the traitor to be the most? There's no point in planting seeds of doubt. Whoever the traitor may be, I assume that they are refraining from acting conspicuously. And I have no hesitation in doing so in order to achieve victory for Great Rimuru. Don't even think about doing something that's going to ruin the trial. It's like you saw right through me. You had an evil look on your face. I was close. Your mind is all over the place. I wouldn't say it's all over the place. Aren't we all paying attention to the surroundings? I'm positive that the traitor will make the move. But seriously, when is it going to end? They never told us how many we have to take out. I guess it's another one of her gimmicks to pressure us. Back at the child headquarters. Feed them more magical beasts. Go. They haven't even broken a sweat yet. It's no fun unless we put more pressure on it. But they have already eliminated the target number of magical beasts. Well, think again. Where would the fun be if it ended without any confusion? Beretta, do the thing. Of course I do. Hurry up, Beretta. I just hope Lady Ramos doesn't get scolded. Is that smoke? That's not only making it harder to see. Is that even allowed? I can only see the magical beasts as silhouettes. I can't keep track of where everyone is. What a dirty trick. Watch out. I'm sure the traitor's going to use this opportunity to... Is the traitor Hinata? Oh, it's Benimaru. No one can hear me. I got attacked from behind, and the fact that they went for my bracelets. I think... Okay, time's up. It is time for the Child of Strength. They have hit the target. Well done. You have overcome the Child of Strength. What was that? Smoke? It was a nuisance, but maybe amidst all that smoke, how this opponent... Benimaru? They got Benimaru. I was watching my back, but I have failed, and I'll be heading back now. Damn. Who did it so finally? Oh, as expected, the trader has made the move. It appears that Lord Benimaru's bracelet has been broken. Who could have seen that coming? That was a surprise. They went after a big shot like Benimaru when there were easier targets around. It's because he's a big shot. His power and calm decision making would be a serious threat. I'd want to get rid of him in the early stages too. It must be the effects of the bracelet. She must have applied similar effects to that of a return whistle. When your whistle bracelet breaks, it automatically triggers the effects and you are forced to drop out. That's very thoughtful of you, but making us betray each other to eliminate our teammates, that's pretty annoying. I totally underestimated you, Amos. You have activated Lord's ambition. I got a bit too emotional there. Determine the true enemy, huh? Let's get back on track and announce who's going to be dropping out. The person with the least amount of kills was Rigitus. I knew it would be me. I must leave your side. The rules don't really make it a team trial anyways. Now let's move on to the next trial. Can you give us some time to think of who may the traitor be? The theme of the trial is the ability to determine the true enemy. How about we start by reviewing where Lord Benimaru was when the smoke was all over the place? Was Gobta, Great Ramu, and Lady Hinata. Ritus and Shion were fighting quite far away from me, considering the distance it would take them. It's unlikely that they could have made the attack. Since Ritus was just disqualified, there's no way she could have been the traitor. But wouldn't that make me look like the most suspicious? You actually think I could beat Benimaru? I'm sure you'd be more than capable of launching a surprise attack. I can't even control that skill yet. You know it's not me, right? Then why are you putting out so much pressure on me with your Lord's ambition? It's not what you think it is. I was just trying to identify the traitor. What do you mean? You said you assess your surroundings, but why did you feel the need to do that? But you could have also been assessing it to target someone, though. Can you ask him, ask Diablo, if he's the traitor or not? He never lies to me, so we'd easily find out whether he is or not. I still feel like it's cheating. There's no way to overcome the trials. At worst, the traitor could end up betraying us, the organizers. Was it Great Mumu? I've been thinking, is there really even a traitor? Ramos does this like to play tricks on people, but the rules for this trial lack her usual cuteness. Maybe the reason why none of the Holy Knights or Ko and I could beat it was because the trial has been set to unbeatable difficulty in order to measure our strengths. Look, I'm not seriously accusing you of anything, but it's impossible that someone would try to keep you from noticing that you are being manipulated. You just raised another unanswerable question, but I guess we ought to keep the suspicion in the back of our minds. Well, it seems like you guys are done with your decisions. Let's move on to the next trial. Getting through the labyrinth will not be enough. You'll need to solve a mystery that lies within the labyrinth. What a nuisance just when we were trying to stick together as a group. Worry about the trailer if we are going into different labyrinths. With the labyrinth, not only are there various contraptions, but I've also set traps and magical beasts too. Let's get going. This labyrinth doesn't seem big, but I can tell it's pretty dangerous. I better find the mystery and quick. When 100 of me gather, we radiate to golden lights. With 100 lights shine, we turn into a star. What am I? I can't solve the Moo's riddle. That's right, the answer is, I'm still thinking. You totally deserve it. My roof is starting to close and I assume this indicates the time limit. Shines gold. I know, 100 silver coins is worth a gold coin, and 100 gold coins is worth a stellar gold coin, so the answer is currency. The exits appeared. Let's get out of here. It's because you were having so much fun. No big deal. What's with these bad vibes? We're done completing the trial of wisdom. The person who has been disqualified is Gobta. Who's going to collapse on me? That's no fair. You're making me panic. Why is Shion and Diablo facing off? They have been like this ever since I came out of the labyrinth. So you find it peculiar as well, do you? By the way, I was second, so the first was being mean to me just because I was the first one out. It's true that the riddle of the child of wisdom wasn't all that difficult, but it was quite surprising to find it was you who would be the first one to solve it. And they exempted me from this trial. I was only informed of it when I entered the trial for the trial of wisdom. I'm not the traitor. That's not what a traitor would say. Look who's talking. I think you're the traitor. What do you base that on? You're trying to set me up. I only asked you a legitimate question, and no, I'm not the traitor. That's what the traitor would say. You'll never come to a conclusion by arguing like that. We'd never come to a conclusion. Why are you failing stance if there's no point in exchanging words? I'll have to prove my point by force. Hiya! Really pointless. Stop them instead of just shaking your head. Hurry up and admit it, you're the traitor. Suddenly we have got ourselves a one-on-one between Lady Shion and Lord Diablo. The crowd is going wild. Which fighter will come out on top? In fact, is there even an opponent winning? Well, let's see how this fierce battle will end. I can't understand how they suspect each other, but aren't they allowing themselves to be easily manipulated? Unlike us watching from the stands, Diablo and the others have no idea whether Shion is telling the truth or not. that both of them end up getting disqualified. After all, if you destroy the bracelet of a faithful, you too will end up losing. I hate to admit it, but I agree. And despite that, Diablo chose to fight regardless of the reason or merits. I wonder what his intention is. The traitor, in that case, only Shion would have to drop out. Let's see if my lovely Hinata can figure out the truth. Enough with the coal and don't just stand there, do something. What do you mean why? Because that's the normal thing to do. If this was a normal situation, I wouldn't mind helping you stop them, but this is a child of the Spirit Queen. You were smart enough to walk out that you just end up letting your guard down against the traitor. Now is not really the time to worry about that. And actually, in your case, you're probably both, isn't that right? The kind traitor. It's great we removed the traitor after hearing the unbelievable accusation. Lady Shion and Lord Diablo have stopped fighting. There's no way we remove the traitor. In that case, Hinata could be the traitor. She's saying that in order to confuse everyone. Why would you say that Great Rumu is the traitor? Don't try threatening me. I meant what I said. Rumu is the traitor. Shucks, you figure it out. But these are the rules. Then you really are the traitor. Thanks for helping me, for believing me, regardless of these rules. You knew I was the traitor, right? Regardless, you tried to make things go smoothly for me. Each other out. If Hinata interfered and let her guard down, that would have given me an advantage. I'd prefer to enjoy games like these in a more casual environment. Calling it a child of the Spirit Queen is giving it too much significance. When did you start doubting me? Pick your traitor. You may as well choose the person who is most likely to be the biggest problem for the challengers. Would never betray you regardless of the rules. Looks like she saw right through you. Says the person who chose the traitor based on such reasons. What convinced you that it was me? For one, you were supportive of Lady Remus throughout the trials, despite saying that the trials were difficult. You never actually complained. No one said that's against the rules. Oh yeah. You even went out of your way to cast doubt on whether a traitor even existed or not. The decision to blow was when you let Shion and Diablo have at it. If you really wanted to stop them from fighting, you could have simply just ordered them to stop. What was really obvious was how you acted when Benmara got disqualified. By unleashing Lord's ambition to show how frustrated you were. Oh, that's well. I knew I had to put on an act, but I was still kind of genuinely frustrated. Hold it right there. It's hard to interrupt, but you have to let me guide you guys to the final trial. We are being transported. You were just asking me something, whether I would let you break my bracelet. If I'm simply forfeiting like that. There comes a time for everyone to have to make an unreasonable choice, and now you will be faced with taking down an ally for the greater good. It seems to have high hopes for me, so I guess I can't forfeit. You just said it's all a farce, and now you're all decked out. I'm not much of an actor. At last, the two will face off in the final trial. The gloves are off. The real enemy. Huh. What an incredible battle. Both fighters are refusing to back down. Let's see a rebrawl. Rumu, don't you lose. Shut your mouth, you rotten lizard. Hinata will finish him off. That's easy for you guys to say. Why don't we just settle this down? You think this is all a farce, right, Hinata? That's why I'd appreciate it if you just simply gave up. How about you let me beat the child, since that's what I want to do? I guess that's true. I really got the short end of the stick. Just promise that you'll beat this child, okay? With one blow, Saint Hinata has broken Rumu's bracelet. I didn't get transported since I'm already outside the dungeon. Let's sit down and see how this unfolds. Well done for being the last one standing. You deserve all the praise. I still haven't overcome the Child of the Mind. I've only won the final one-on-one, but this is the Child of the Mind and not the Child of Strength and Skills. How I've been telling you to determine the true enemy. So what's the true enemy to you? Rumu the traitor, or those who resent Luminous? Perhaps those who threaten Rebus, or an enemy of mankind? You only got one chance to answer this question. Can't trick me into trying to say anything else. You are the true enemy. I wonder what Ritus would have said if she were the last one standing. But those who resent Luminous resent Rubus, and the enemies of mankind are all enemies too, are they not? But they aren't the true enemy, and I'm supposed to determine that during this trial. Hey Rimuru, you know what that genre of fiction where the characters are forced to play unreasonable games? Death game genre, the enemies in this games would be equivalent to the trait of this trial. Actually, come to think of it, the trait of this trial became one against the will. So the true enemy is the one who forces you to do into those unreasonable trials. In other words, it's you, Lady Ramos. That was impressive. At the Dwelling of Spirits. Congratulations on passing the trial, and here we are at the Dwelling of Spirits. Therefore I shall fulfill my role and grant you divine protection of the spirits. But what kind of spirit will respond to her? Why? I only took part in this trial because the honor of the Holy Knights were on the line, and not because I wanted to come into contract with a new spirit. With many spirits, Rumu knows that, right? I feel like I did this all for nothing then. That it straightened out my holy nights. I would say that that in itself was a huge impact on them. Simply seeking greater power will not make you stronger in the true sense of the word, and I'm sure they learned a good lesson regarding that. Therefore, I must thank you for it. So thanks, Remus, to all the great things you will do as the Fairy of the Labyrinth. I will definitely like to have my subordinates try to challenge your dungeon. I don't go easy on my challenges, but unlike this child, you can actually end up dead in the dungeons, you know? That's so cold-hearted, it's like she doesn't have an inch of considerations of the well-being of her subordinates. I look forward to it. And thus, Remus's death game, or rather the trial of the Spirit Queen, safely came to an end.